When my friend on a weekend away asked me what was the difference between meditation and mindfulness, I paused for breath and I was about to start splurging a definition and my understanding. And then I realized that everything in my mind was actually quite jumbled and it was quite hard to unravel. And I felt that if I'd spent the time trying to explain to her there and then what it was all about, I'd end up actually just confusing her and wish that she hadn't bothered asking. But it has been on my mind because I thought it was a great question. And now is the time I'm going to try and answer that question. So, mindfulness v meditation. Let's get going. So, the first question I want to answer is why is there so much confusion about the two things? Well, I think there's two main reasons for that. You may have many more, and I'm very interested for you to share those with me. But I think the first reason that there's a lot of confusion between the two things is because mindfulness has become really, really common and mainstream and so popular, which is great. That the term mindfulness has become almost interchangeable with meditation. And if you read articles, in particular books, sometimes they even say, I'm using the word interchangeably. I'm thinking, well, that's not really helpful if you don't know the difference between the two. So that's one reason for it. And I think the other reason that there's confusion is because there is so much about the two things that are overlapping. So they have so much in common. So we'll get about finding out what they've got in common and what they don't have in common. Definitions. So the next thing we need is a definition of both mindfulness and meditation. I've gone straight up the guru mindfulness tree. I've got three heavyweights of the field with definitions. I'm going to read those out because I cannot remember things anymore. So the first one comes from a meditation teacher called Guy Armstrong. And he really is a heavyweight. He's written things, so he's an authority, so he must be right. And what he says is mindfulness is knowing what you're experiencing, while you're experiencing it. It's moment-to-moment awareness, has a quality of being in the now. There's a sense of freedom, of perspective, of being connected, not judging. So that's Guy Armstrong. And then we're going right to the very top of the tree. Yes, the man himself, the MBSR. I hope I've done that in the right way around. I hate an acronym. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, Jon Kabat-Zinn, who not only kind of founded the whole mindfulness-based stress reduction, also went on to form the Center for Mindfulness and Meditation Center. Mindfulness and Meditation, Mindfulness and Medicine Center. Excuse me, too many M's. Anyway, what he says, and this is probably my favorite because it's nice and short and easy to kind of grasp a hold of. Mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So that's it. Three things: paying attention, on purpose, without judgment. Got it. Thank you, Jon Kabat-Zinn. And finally, I've gone to Rick Hanson because obviously we want somebody with a science background, giving us even more validity in why mindfulness is such a great thing to be doing. So, author of The Practical Neuroscience of Buddha's Brain, he defines being mindful as having good control over your attention. The attention can be placed wherever you want. It stays there, and when you want to move your attention to something else, you can. He adds, attention is like a spotlight, like that. And what it illuminates streams into the mind and shapes your brain. So developing greater control over attention is the single most powerful way to reshape the brain and thus the mind. Now, this might also be a really good time to tell you that according to research from neuroscience, I can't remember exactly where, but you can Google it and you'll find out, it takes between 6 to 8 weeks of practicing mindfulness meditation before you can reshape your brain. You can rewire those neural connections and create greater mindfulness and meditation, sharpen your awareness, your focus, probably your inner calm. So nothing to hang around. Let's just get going on that mindfulness meditation track. Okay, so there are the definitions of mindfulness. I went for two definitions of meditation. where else would you go? But you just go straight to Wikipedia for number one, meditation. So meditation is a practice in which an individual uses a technique, such as mindfulness, now we know why we're getting confused, of focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity to train attention and awareness and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state. Okay, so basically, meditation isn't one thing. Meditation is many different techniques. And it might be that you know lots of those techniques, but you might not have even realized it was necessarily meditation. So we could play a little game here. Actually, I'll do the headspace one first, and then we'll play the game. Let's get the information in first. So headspace, meditation isn't about becoming a different person, a new person, or even a better person. Oh, thank goodness for that. It's about training and awareness and getting a healthy sense of perspective. You're not trying to turn off your thoughts or feelings. You're learning to observe them without judgment. There we've got the without judgment again. And eventually you may start to better understand them as well. Right, okay, so let's play that game that I mentioned. So it's basically, I'm going to start a meditation and you can tell me what kind of meditation it is, for example. Okay, so close your eyes, sit comfortably. So imagine you've done the grounding and you're walking along a path and you come to a gate. The gate is old and wooden and you undo the creaky latch, and through the other side of the gate is a field of bluebells, a winding path going as far as the eye can see. And then you come to, okay, so for instance, that kind of meditation is it's a visualization, often used for enhancing creativity or healing in some way. So that's visualization meditation. What about this one? So you close your eyes, you get comfortable, you breathe, you notice your breath, you've done all that. And then I want you to take your attention to somebody in your life who means a lot to you. And then I want you to send them love, goodwill, and ease, for example. Okay, so that would be a metta meditation, or otherwise known as loving kindness. Obviously, often they have set phrases that you repeat over and over again. So there are two different kinds of meditation. I'm going to give you a final one, although there's so many we could choose from, and just so I can pose another question for you. Okay, so basically close your eyes. We are going to begin a body scan. We're going to scan your body from the crown of your head to the tip of the toes. And as I say a particular body part, you're going to take your attention to that body part and consciously relax and release that body part. The crown of your head, your brow, the space between your brow. Exactly. So that is a body scan. Now, question. Is a body scan, or is a visualization, or is love and kindness, are they meditations, or are they mindfulness meditations? You can think about that and you can let me know what your opinion is. So yes, so this is where it becomes a little bit more of the crossover. So some meditations are mindfulness meditations and others are not. Okay, so moving on from definitions, what are the differences between meditation and mindfulness? Well, I would say that meditation is a formal practice. It's a formal, ritualized practice. So it will have a beginning and an end. You will usually find a comfortable place to sit. Though in your head, when you imagine that, you of course go straight to imagining people sitting cross-legged in lotus position. It doesn't have to be like that, though there is a good reason for sitting upright with a long spine, because it helps you to stay alert, which is what you need when you're meditating. But you can do it sitting in a chair. You can do it lying down. You just need to be alert. So it's a ritualized practice with a beginning and an end. You do it for a set time. People tend to do it, if they can, at the same time every day. And it might be that you light a candle or you make sure there's some incense in your space. People have different ways of making their meditation space appealing to help encourage the practice. So it's a ritualized thing and it's formal. Whereas mindfulness is more like a feeling or a quality that can be brought to absolutely anything you're doing at any time of day or night. Because remember, what is mindfulness? It's being in the present moment on purpose, so consciously, without judgment. So you can be mindfully washing your dishes. You can be mindfully showering or brushing your teeth, or mindfully walking. So it's the quality of being present, on purpose, without judgment, any time of day. However, you can have a formal mindful meditation practice, which is also a very, very good idea, because when you practice more formally, you're going to help to build the mindfulness muscle. And why would you want to do that? Well, I've got very, very good reason why you might want to do that. So according to research, and I won't bother quoting, it's neuroscience, science, and you can Google it. I can never remember. But apparently, 47% of time, people are mind wandering. So our minds are wandering all over the place, here, there, everywhere, except for the present moment. And research has shown that when we are mind wandering, we are unhappy. However, when we are mindful in the present moment, we're happy. So it's a no-brainer. We need to bring ourselves, we need to practice mindfulness more of the time. We want to be happy. Who doesn't want to be happy? Okay, so they're the kind of the main differences between the two, or a very good way to separate. So finally, we could talk about the commonalities between mindfulness and meditation. And I think this, again, is another reason for the confusion. So I think we've established, or I hope I've established, that both mindfulness and meditation cultivate present moment awareness. And that's kind of a really, really important fundamental thing about them both. A side benefit, or I shouldn't call it a side benefit. So both practices promote relaxation, stress reduction, overall well-being. They might lower your blood pressure, they might help you sleep well, can do all sorts of great things for your immune system, create greater compassion, lack of judgment, all of these things. But I suppose what I wanted to say about that is, whilst of course these are amazing benefits, and in terms of mindfulness, this might be the reason that you are practicing in the first place, but reducing stress is not why the ancient yogis went up the Himalayas or into secluded ashrams for months and months and months. They weren't looking for the health benefits that are now associated with yoga. They were actually cultivating inner peace, or kind of deepening the spiritual yogi path. Just a bit of information. However, I mean, the benefits alone are worth, those benefits are worth practicing for anyway. So I think that is pretty much it. Difference between mindfulness and meditation, some of the practices that you can do. Oh, one more thing. How could I have forgotten? Another commonality is the role of the breath in both mindfulness and meditation. So the breath is often used as an anchor to keep your mind, body, spirit in the present moment. So I hope that's unraveled the confusion between mindfulness and meditation. If you want to know more, a particular book I am loving and have been using in my morning yoga and meditations is this book here, Oh, it's gone all fuzzy on the screen. Oh, if I put it there, that's better. But it's back to front. It's Meditation for the Real World. It's absolutely lovely. So it will help you develop mindfulness, meditation and mindfulness based practice. What's not to like about that? Anyway, if you have any questions or anything that you would like to add to the subject, feel free to communicate them to me.